MTV World Stage представляет
Demon's Souls is a remake of the action repop of the same name, released in 2009 on PC.
The original is a cult game in many ways. It was in it that all the key elements of the Souls series first appeared. It also introduced the world to the talent of Hidetaka Miyazaki, one of the most famous Japanese game designers today.
And the updated version, created from scratch by Bluepoint Studio, is a great opportunity for many to see how the history of Souls began. And also, to see with your own eyes the resurrection of the online life of the Demon's Souls, which ended in February 2018 when FromSoftware shut down the original service.
However, we must admit that against the background of the large-scale and incredibly well-developed Dark Souls 3, the peak point of the series, the game of 2009, albeit in the form of an instantly beautiful remake for the PlayStation 5, is not as impressive as 11 years ago.
Nonetheless, this is still awesome action. The kingdom of Boletaria, and with it the whole world, is under threat. The old King Alan, in order to gain even more power and achieve the prosperity of his state, performed a dark ritual, but this did not lead to anything good. The efforts of the ruler awakened the ancient monster of the Elder. After that, a thick fog descended on the lands of Boletaria, and with it terrible demons came there, eager to devour human souls. More than once, heroes have gone to the kingdom to save the country, but almost none of them returned. And those who did manage to get out said that Boletaria is now a very dangerous place. And everything would be fine, only an impenetrable fog, serving the demons as a cover, will soon spread far beyond the borders of one kingdom. You are one of those rare heroes who still believe in the salvation of Boletaria. The demons, however, will soon make you doubt this. In the first half hour of Demon's Souls you will meet a completely invincible demon. In fact, you can defeat him, but difficult, which will kill your hero. He, in turn, after that will fall into the Nexus, an ancient temple that connects the 5 regions of the kingdom with the help of portal armaments.
In other words, the Nexus is a hub where you can pump for accumulated souls, and also find useful NPC like merchants, blacksmiths and magic teachers.
There is no open world in Demon's Souls. A similar hub, the Temple of Fire, exists in Dark Souls 3, and this is just one example of how much the 2009 game influenced the 3 subsequent installments of Dark Souls. In reality, there are of course much more such examples.
Souls as the basis of everything, this is currency, and points for pumping, and an element of the plot. Only one chance to take back from the place of death accumulated by overwork. Ferocious bosses, traps and location design, hinting that in this game you can die outside of battle with the enemy. Messages from other players on the ground, all this appeared in Demon's Souls, after which FromSoftware began to develop each of these ideas in future games.
So, in Dark Souls, Estus appeared as the main method of treatment, and also those same bonfires, that is, control points where you can rest, replenish supplies and pump. What about Demon's Souls without bonfires? Not easy. Each region of Boletaria, where one of the 5 stones leads, is conventionally divided into 4 large locations. Conditionally, because there are no loading screens between them, but there are bosses. If you kill the boss, a new portal archstone will appear at the place of his death. It will be the control point. And between the bosses, only dozens of enemies and a lot of other ways to die.
And now you are transported from the hub to one of the regions, the majestic royal palace, the mining town, the prison tower, dangerous swamps and the storm island, and hit the road to the first boss.
Walking takes about an hour on average, if you don't know what and where. If they died, you have to start from the beginning of the location. And if they reached the boss and killed him, rejoice, as an archstone appeared nearby, from which you can now continue your journey. It sounds like the Demon's Souls don't spare the player at all.
And this is true, but only in part. Sometimes you can still find a cut, get rid of a powerful opponent who is blocking the path, attach a script that in the next race will somehow facilitate the road.
Although the lack of bonfires and other checkpoints is, of course, a mockery. It's good that Dark Souls made it a little friendlier in this sense. On the other hand, in the same Dark Souls, the studio abandoned the mechanics of trends, it seems to me, in vain.
In Demon's Souls, each world has its own tendency. Initially it is neutral, but as you progress you can make it light or dark.
The tendency of the world brightens if you kill the boss in it. And it gets dark if in this world you die in bodily form. The hero restores his human form after defeating the boss, and after death, continues his journey in the form of a spirit, with a health bar cut in half. Why change the trend of the world in one direction or another? In the light worlds, the enemies become weaker; in the dark, on the contrary, they become stronger, they gain health.
In addition, in each region there are locations that cannot be reached with a neutral tendency. These are sections of levels that are not necessary for passing the game, where you can find some rare weapons, characters, or just a lot of loot.
The mechanics of trends are a matter of controversy, since not everyone likes it.
Against her is the fact that for the sake of lightning, you can specifically die in the Nexus, falling there from a great height. After all, in the hub it is impossible to spoil the tendency, and then go to any of the worlds already in the form of spirit.
And yes, in this case, the hero's health will be only half, and some of the online opportunities will become unavailable. But in fact, if you do not regain your bodily form with the help of a special artifact and do not die after that in this or that world over and over again, making its tendency dark is no easier than lightening it.
In my opinion, during the first playthrough, you can forget about trends altogether, but on ing and beyond, they will become an excellent additional challenge for experienced players.
In addition, it is always pleasant, even in a completely explored world, to open an unfamiliar area of a location with a light or dark tendency. Many just for the sake of these studies play the Souls series.
However, trends, and co-op, and invasions of the worlds of other players in the form of phantoms, and messages on Earth left by someone who visited this place before you, all this in the original Demon's Souls in 2018 stopped working together with servers.
The players launched a fan server, but it never really became popular. But the remake brought all these finds back to life and attracted the attention of a new audience to the game that started it all.
The latter is much more important than great graphics and the ability to play at 60 FPS, since in 2009 the original, due to its exclusivity for many, remained just another strange Japanese repop. Now the founder of the series and the whole genre can finally be given credit. And, most importantly, do it with pleasure. Bluepoint recreated in detail the gameplay of the original in the remake, did not spoil anything, did not change anything so that it was striking.
Of the most notable, added a limit on medicinal herbs and potions to restore mana and came up with the Shattered World mode, where all locations appear in a mirror image. Nothing serious.
As I wrote in the beginning, against the background of Dark Souls 3, the remake of Demon's Souls is much less impressive than it could be. It is less ambitious, in some ways much less complex, and some bosses in it look like prototypes of much more expressive opponents from subsequent studio games. And someone, perhaps, will decide that for the remake the game needed to be redone more, change some mechanics, reinvent some of the bosses, and add the updated version with innovations that were in the same Dark Souls 3.
I also think that all this is simply useless reasoning. Demon's Souls 2020 is a remake of the game of the same name. This is not Dark Souls 4 at all, from which it would be more logical to demand the development of old ideas. This is a critical part of FromSoftware's history and the Souls series, no rewriting required. It was important to preserve what once made the game unique, but it's great to update so that new players can learn about this story. And Bluepoint coped with this task perfectly, although I will not argue that some rare moments could be corrected. For example, the completely impossible camera in the battle with the boss Maneater. The rest is a stunning remake of an outstanding and iconic game.